Hello friends, this is Music Man from his man cave, and we are talking about the many visions of Superman. And there's just been a lot of hate. There's a lot of hate flung around about the latest movie, and then people going back and saying that Superman, the Richard Donner film was dated. So I just want to set the record straight. I want to talk about the many visions of Superman coming at you right now. Part 2. Music Man from his man cave, and now, so after Superman Returns came out, and people felt that it did not have enough action. But in the meantime, we have some great visions of Superman. Number one is they went back to the cutting room floor, and they had Richard Donner's cut. Oh, this is great. What a bunch of stuff is like that you never got to see, actually put into a movie form. Fun. This is enjoyable stuff. So if you don't have this and you're any kind of comic book fan, you want to pick this up. This is a great, enjoyable romp. And seeing how Richard Donner actually wasn't going to take the lazy way in Superman 1. That's all I'll say, so I don't spoil it. Check this out. You're going to love it. The Richard Donner cut of Superman with setting up for Superman 2. You will not regret it. So in the meantime, a TV series came out, and I did not watch it when it was on TV because I can't stand the commercials. But I did pick it up on DVD, all 10 of them, right down to the final season. And what can I say about Tom Wellington and what's her name, Amanda Durrance, I think. And I hope I don't even want to talk about whoever it was that played Lana Lang. First of all, Lana Lang is redhead. We all know that. I have no problem with that, really, but she's a redhead. This girl was Oriental and is annoying as all get out. I love you, Clark. I don't love you, Clark. I love you, Clark. I don't love you, Clark. Let's move in together, Clark. Let's not, Clark. Clark, I love you. I don't love you. I love you. I don't love you. Clark, I have powers too. Clark, I don't. Clark, I'm in. I'm out. So that was really annoying. Finally, when Lois Lane came is when I started to enjoy it. I liked the Green Arrow character. That was a lot of fun. I liked Lex Luthor in this one. He's my favorite Lex Luthor of all time. And so right now I can't think of the actor's name. Write his name down below for me. But he was a great Lex Luthor. And then halfway through the seasons, or halfway through the series, they took him out. I did like the guy that played Lex Luthor's father, Linus Luthor. That guy was brutal, vicious. You get a lot of strange stuff here. Kind of stuff like it's like has influences from Chronicle, different rocks found in the earth, and Superman trying to keep his identity, and all this kryptonite is in Smallville, which is new, and it's a different take, different vision. They had to stretch all this Superman stuff into some kind of mythology for TV. Does it work? Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, no. Sometimes an episode is a 10, the next episode is a 5. The next episode is a 9, the next episode is a 2. That's how it goes with TV. But I give them kudos for keeping it fresh. So the series is fun. If you watch it with no commercials, and you just take your time through it. A lot of fun to watch all 10. This is the 10th season. And you just get to see him show the tights and the cape, and that's it. They're not going to show him flying because that was the agreement that they made, that they would not have him flying around as Superman. Yet he does as Clark Kent. You want to check this out. Now, and also, oh my goodness, Bruce Timm is producing all these cartoons, and they are wonderful. Superman, Batman, Apocalypse, right from the comic book. Graphic novel. Wondrous. I really enjoyed that one. How about Superman Unbound? This is really good. Brainiac. I wish they'd have had Brainiac instead of Zod in Man of Steel. That could have been really cool and really interesting for some of the special effects they could have done. But anyway, what is. And these are great. These are not for children. These are adults. And then we have this. All-Star Superman, right from the comic book, and it is so well done. So enjoyable to watch. Repeat viewing, definitely. Of course, and I have the movies. You have a lot of influences going on coming up. You have the Death of Superman, and I have this and the movie. Two of the movie. Doomsday, a lot of fun. And I have several of these of the origin of Superman. But this is a fun one. This is an enjoyable read. You'll enjoy these. And they're simple and they're easy to read. And so you have all these influences. They're all definitely influencing Superman. So when I heard that it was Goyer, and I heard it was Zack Snyder, and I heard that Christopher Nolan had a part in writing the story, this is what I expected. I expected Inception, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, combined with Sucker Punch. I fell asleep during Sucker Punch. I couldn't watch it. It didn't keep my interest. That's how bad it was. I can't even give a review on it because I fell asleep. And I just wasn't willing to, go that far with it. So I knew it was going to be, first of all, I knew it was going to be very, very like 300-ish, very dark, very gritty, a darker take on Superman. I knew that going into the theater. However, let me tell you, it makes up for Superman Returns and the other Supermans and the special effects and the knockdown, drag out action sequences this movie has. If you're the kind of kid that loved to sit on the floor and pretend that Superman and this guy were smashing it out, this is the movie for you. That's what the movie's about. If you're about deep character development, then you need to go back to Superman Returns. Or you need to go back to the originals with Christopher Reeve. You're just not going to get it here. You're going to get, basically, look at the technology we have. You're going to get influences from the Matrix in this movie. It is literally like a Superman made for this generation. You're going to get a Superman based off the Transformer movies by Michael Bay. That's what you're going to get. If you're worried about how many people are dying in the city, that's not the point. It's how hard Superman and General Zod are hitting each other, and when two super beings that are like concrete, when they are wailing on each other, buildings are coming down. And so it has the same problem the Avengers had. Buildings were coming down. Wells were falling on buildings. You assume that people got out of Dodge by then. And you assume in Superman, when this big thing is crushing cars and is terraforming the earth, that they're going to get out of Dodge. So here comes the final Superman, Man of Steel. And so we'll finish with this, the last 3 minutes. What did I think of this? Well, I told you I knew what to expect. I didn't expect Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan and Goyer to change their style. It was exactly what I expected. And did I enjoy it? I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was a wow. So I was really shocked by people. Were you expecting them to give you Superman Returns? Were you expecting this movie to be bright and cheery and, joy, all joy and light? That's not what you're going to get here. What you're going to get here is a kid sitting on the floor with his action figures, having his imagination going wild when two guys are just tearing it up, And you can get in trouble with that as a kid because you mess some things up. Maybe knock some whatnots off the shelf, your figurines of your mother's. But Man of Steel was exactly what I expected. It had all the elements there. A little bit of backstory, a little bit of, a different take. Superman's struggling. He doesn't really want to be an alien. He doesn't really want to be Superman. He just wants to be a kid on a farm when he's young. But then he decides that, I don't like farming. I really want to do something more. Jonathan Kent does not die the comic book way. The story does not happen at all the comic book way. It's a retake. It is completely a new vision by Christopher Nolan and the other person that wrote it. But you can just see Christopher Nolan's influence here. Superman here is doing a lot of wailing and screaming and grunting and gritting and it just reminded me of a graphic novel. He's tormented. Um, I just feel that Russell Crowe nailed it here as Jor-El. Amy Adams, I wouldn't mind if Lois Lane died in this movie. It's really irrelevant. This is a new, completely new vision of Superman. Through it all, she'd have been sucked into the vortex with Feora and all the different other people. That would have been fine with me. I'd have been fine with that. I understood what I was looking at. So basically, they crossed the line. Man, did they cross the line. Superman kills. I had no problem with that. Because the movie had already was so different. And you knew Superman was capable of killing because Batman killed Two-Face in The Dark Knight. He had to. He's about to shoot a little boy. So he knocked him off the balcony and the guy was hanging on his leg. And so Batman did kill Two-Face. Get over it. Batman swore never to kill, but he did kill Two-Face. So anyway, there's my take on the Superman mythology. I like them all for what they give. The originals have their place where they take it seriously. Lester's has its place for if you want to watch something and it's just camp, like the old Batman TV show. Then you have Superman Forever, Bryan Singer, making a very, very thinking, deep, melancholy, thoughtful Superman. And then you have Man of Steel, which is basically is tied in with all these other sci-fi movies of the last decade, all tied together and wrapped up neat into a bow. And some people loved it, some people hated it. I loved it because when I look back, I'll say I see the influence of The Dark Knight. I see the influence of The Matrix. I see the influence of these animated movies they were putting out and how that had an impact on this movie. So watch it, enjoy it. They're all different visions. They're all a work of art. I enjoy them. Music Man. Talk to you later.